Hi, Joel.
Hello.
Hi, thank you so much for joining us. It's a real pleasure to have you with us. So, you're one of the top experts on planet Earth in this important topic, like the future of food. Before entering that, so help us understand who is Joel, who is the person behind the name.
Thank you, Mark, and thank you for the privilege of being a part of the NTT 2019 conference or summit. It's really nice. Well, who am I? I'm a person, definitely, and I'm one who cares about the long-term sustainability of our planet. I would say that at the very core, that's what informs and that's what inspires everything that I'm doing. I happen to be a professor of Biosystems Engineering. I teach, but I also do research, and I focus my research on innovative technologies, the development of innovative technologies, so that we can create value, and that value is toward advancing the sustainability of the food supply for everyone on the planet.
Wow, easy to say, complex to achieve.
Absolutely.
Okay, so imagine we play this theoretical game. We take all our audience, ourselves, we get in a fridge, and wake up in 10 years.
Right.
How will be the future of food in 10 years on planet Earth?
Right.
So I know this is a complex question, but like your best guess.
Correct. It's still going to be, there's still going to be open field cultivation. That's not going to go away.
Okay.
But probably it's going to be in a lesser magnitude than what we have today, or what we actually anticipate to happen in the future. So it's going to be a combination of open field cultivation and at the same time controlled environment agriculture.
And
so this
why is that? Is it because those controlled environments are much more efficient in resource consumption? Why is that?
It's a number of factors. One is they're more dependable. They're more consistent. They're producing crops of consistent yield, higher yield, and higher quality. 24/7, 365 days a year. So if you're a businessman, of course, you would be interested in that, as opposed to open field cultivation, which is subject to an erratic and changing climate. You have no predictability of consistency. So therefore, people would prefer more to have of these controlled environment food production systems.
So, this is an AI-first world. So AI is massively provoking disruptions in a bunch of industries domain. So will AI be called to play a role in this new next generation food ecosystem?
Absolutely. So AI is artificial intelligence or machine learning intelligence. Absolutely. Because again, as I mentioned in the beginning, we have a 10 in terms of our demand for food. And at the same time, and also in part because we don't have enough resources. If we are going to do things business as usual, we don't have enough input resources. We're not going to have enough water. We're not going to have enough land. We're not going to have enough energy to produce the amount of food that's needed to sustain the population in the middle of the century. So the only way to go about that really is to find ways by which we could be really efficient in the use of these resources. So one is we want to maximize our yield. And at the same time, we want to minimize our input resources. And the best really strategy to go about that, to decipher that and to implement that, is using artificial intelligence.
Let's move to the dark side of the whole conversation we've had. So when you look at what's happening out there while we talk, some very concerning micro and macro situations on this planet. What's your biggest concern regarding planet Earth, the current challenges we're facing?
Right. It always boils down to us, human beings. the Earth would be a messy place, or it would be an orderly and really sustainable place, depending on how we as human beings act and behave. And this goes actually, not just from the individual level, but even to the government level.
Yeah.
Because some governments, either because they don't have the proper resources, they don't have enough funds, they don't have enough expertise or knowledge in terms of governance, in terms of how to develop an economy, in terms of how to foster and cultivate innovation among their citizenry, that is a challenge. And the good thing, though, is that today, in this century, most governments today, most countries, really are extremely interested in developing their people, their creativity, and to build innovation ecosystems. Everybody's looking at Silicon Valley, for instance. That's the holy grail. But of course, it's not possible to duplicate exactly Silicon Valley. You can't transport it into any other place on Earth. You've got to develop your own. It's got to be native, because the development of an innovation ecosystem requires government and companies and universities and investors partnerships. And that has to be local. And every government on Earth really is aiming to be able to develop that within their particular countries. And that's very encouraging. That's one thing. Another thing is, are they actually able to do that?
Yeah, and that's a different story. Yeah?
That's a different story. And that is
because
why,
these are long-run challenges. Yeah?
Correct, yes.
Political cycles are constrained to
That's right.
mandates.
And really, some countries, frankly, are clueless about this. It's not to criticize them, but that's just the way it is. And credit to them, they're actually reaching out to other countries, particularly developed countries, so that they could have the capacity building for them to be able to build that within their own country. And that's a positive thing. That's an extremely positive thing.
It is. It is. It's the light at the end of this tunnel. Probably.
Right.
We're closing all this conversation with the same game, like use any Harry Potter metaphor. Imagine I take this. This is a magic wand. So Joel, I give you the magic wand. Now you have the magic wand. What's that? You would ask me. So this gives you now the superpower to change literally anything you want on planet Earth.
Yeah.
You can change anything.
Right.
But it's like one use.
Yeah.
Just one thing. What would you change?
I would wish, if it's like a genie in a bottle. The wish that I would have is really for every person on the earth to receive the proper education and training to become innovative and responsible. That really is the core of the solution. It really, the most valuable asset that we have on this earth is people. The best asset that every country has is its own people. And so if we can educate properly our citizens and our children in a way that they also become innovative and creative and value-centered and responsible, that's wonderful. That means that we can create anything and not destroy the planet. And the way we live, the way we act, the way we behave, the way we consume, the way we relate with one another is in no way destructive to not only to the human race, but not destructive as well to the planet, but in a way that is always constructive in all aspects.
Joel, it has been a real pleasure, privilege to have you with us. I think this will massively interest our audience. I mean, selfishly, we'd better solve that. Like, we have a big problem around the corner, and we can be the worst problem as humans or the smartest solution.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you very much.
Privilege. Thank you.